Hello, everyone. Melderon TV here with.
Defcamp TV.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to part 4 of our Classic WoW discussion series, where we talk about Classic WoW and how it should be implemented, and how Blizzard's going to implement it, and all those good things. While I was in Philadelphia, I had a great time with my brother, but when we were there, we noticed that this. You've probably heard about this survey that was put up on the WoW subreddit. And I first saw it here. You're looking at the original post that was on the Classic WoW official Blizzard forums. That there's a survey being put up about implementing changes, a design survey for Classic WoW and how it should be implemented. And here is the actual subreddit page. And this is kind of the proof that a Blizzard CM is monitoring this. So a community manager is monitoring the survey. I posted this on our WoW servers, but if it gets a wide enough reach, I'd love to sync it on our data sharing here. I think this could be a helpful base for us. So again, this survey, which I will link in the description, is possibly being monitored by Blizzard CMs.
Probably.
The reason this is so important is there are very large effects that patch releases can have on Classic WoW. If you need some background on that, I highly suggest this video by Alex Sensual, was just put up on November 20th, where he talks about exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video. So briefly, I want to go over exactly what patch progression means. And Matt, please interject if I miss anything. So
Sure.
Nostalrius and all the other classic surveys that were successful have implemented ability patch 1.12.1. That's just for abilities, guys, not raid and itemization progression. Two very different things. Very different things. And I want to make that clear. If raids are brought in out of sync, it could have very large effects on the game itself. And Soda Poppin', who I'm not going to bash, but his video here, which I'll also link in the description, he went and took this survey without doing any background searching into what he was doing.
I mean, he
And
does play vanilla, but he plays on private servers, but
yeah,
I don't think he actually played vanilla
when it was out.
live.
And he
Right.
also just took the survey blindly. And I'm imploring everyone to take the survey and please answer the way you want to answer it, but please just do some homework real quick first before you take the survey. And this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
This is basically a disclaimer for anyone who's taking the survey. Please watch this or Alex's video, because he does more in depth than I will. But so before we jump into the thing, I'm going to explain what I mean by patch progression versus ability patches. So like Light's Hope is on patch 1.12.1 for abilities only. Okay.
As far as class balancing and things like that, yeah.
Correct, for class balancing and class abilities. However, that dungeons and raids came out over the course of the server's lifetime. So I'm going to start the survey, and we're going to briefly, this is 52 question survey, and we got to get this done.
Yeah.
I don't want to kind of keep this under a half hour if we can. So we'll start with the first one. So the first question, as you see here, should Melderon be accessible at the start of the server? It was added patch 1.2, approximately 1 month and 24 days after the game's release. Now, according to a lot of research that I've been doing, Melderon did not have any items in it that affected any raid tiers. It was not a catch-up patch. And believe it or not, guys, even in vanilla, they had catch-up mechanics. Like
Oh yeah.
Karazhan. Karazhan and TBC, well, that was not vanilla,
That was
but
TBC.
an example would be Karazhan.
ZG.
Karazhan was
ZG
released.
kind of catch up. ZG was kind of a catch up in vanilla.
It was, but so to give you a more, I guess, well-known example would be Karazhan. Karazhan was brought in as a raid catch-up raid, basically, for people who missed. I guess was it tier 3, tier 4, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was also done in vanilla WoW, guys. Just keep that in mind. Melderon was not one of these things. So it doesn't really affect the gameplay if Melderon is released with the actual game, or if they wait a month and 24 days to release it. And honestly, 1 month and 24 days, about 2 months, Melderon's a high level 30, low level 40 dungeon. I know I'm
Right.
not going to be that level in 2 months. I'm
Honestly, I think
yeah,
Mardon was meant to be in the vanilla
yes,
launch, but I think they just didn't have the time to put it in. That's the only reason why it came in a little bit later. I think they
right.
just didn't have the time to put it in.
Yeah, I'm going to say no only because I wanted to mirror how it was actually originally. But Matt, what were the actual standings on this?
The actual standings on this were actually 68 yes to 31 no.
Okay,
So
yeah. So the majority say yes, and that does not break the game. I don't care if it launches with the game. I'm just saying no personally. Then you guys please answer the way you wanted to answer it. The next one, however, is a big one. Dire Maw. Dire Maw is 3 dungeons, 3 very
talking
large
about catch up.
dungeons.
That's a kind of a catch up there, Dire Mall.
Yeah, and there's pieces in here that were this was released 3 months after release. And the thing with the only issue with Dire Maul is there are pieces that drop for certain classes that make certain pieces in Molten Core irrelevant. Um, and this is only for certain classes now. But still, you have a possible game breaking mechanic, and 3 months does not sound that long, and I understand that. Most people will not be at 60 in 3 months. So this again is not going to have a huge impact, but again, remember it can have an impact on rating progression and Molten Core itself. It makes certain bosses in Molten Core irrelevant. Um, so this is something that again I'm gonna answer no to. But just try to remember that this could have implications for raid progression. Matt, what is the numbers on this one?
So for the Dire Mall, it's actually 57.4 no to 42.6 yes. So
Okay.
pretty kind of in the middle, but I think more people are saying no, and hopefully that follows through.
Yeah, I agree. The next one, same idea. Azuragos and Lord Kazakh were partial world bosses.
There's actually gear from I think Priest like better than like there's really good gear from and also the dragons too, which they come up later.
Well, they'll
But
come up
yeah,
later. Yeah, those are
yeah.
huge. Those cannot come out at launch. But basically, these guys again, it's only 3 months after release. I know that it sounds nitpicky, but this is the natural progression it was when WoW launched. So I really think should also stay the way it was. I do not think it should be released at release. Matt, what do you got for numbers?
So for Azur and Lord Kazakh, it's 77.4 no to
Okay.
22.6 yes. So
Yeah.
majority is saying no, which
That's
is
yeah.
pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, should the Gurabashi Arena event be accessible at the start of the server? I personally don't know much about this, but I'm sure there was gear
There's
rewards.
really no gear rewards for
Oh,
that.
there wasn't. Okay.
No,
Okay.
it's you remember well there's a cache in the middle and whoever wins it's like an arena and you basically go in there and there's I mean like little stuff that's not like huge gear items that you get through
Yeah.
the ZG arena.
Okay.
The Gorbash arena, I'm sorry.
All right, so I'm going to say no to this again, just because it's only 4 months. I can wait 4 months for that to launch. The next
And
one
it's
is yeah. What do you have in numbers? Sorry, missed that.
For that one is actually 62.5 yes and
Okay.
37.5 no
Yeah.
because of the no gear thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
People who want PvP in the beginning, that's kind of what it. I mean,
Right,
PvP,
right.
World PvP.
World
so.
PvP. And again, I'm not a huge. I'm not. This is not game breaking to me, but I'm just going to say no because I'm on the purist side of this. This one, however, is a big one. Should Warsaw Gulch and Alterac Valley be accessible? The big issue here is Alterac Valley. As Alex points out in his video, a lot of people are known for AFKing in Alterac Valley. You still get rep rewards for that, even if you're out doing like mining and skinning and herbalism. And
The rep rewards are good.
if you get exalted with
Yeah.
either the Frostwolf clan, I don't know what's the alliance side for AV.
It's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. I play Horde mostly. Anyway, if you get exalted with that faction, there are some really,
Oh.
really good pieces of gear, even epic pieces of gear you can get, which again will kind of break the difficulty scaling for raids. So I do not want that coming out at launch either. Again, Blackwing. So the next wait, Matt, numbers on. Sorry, Matt. Numbers on the AV Warsaw Gulch.
So 75% yes to 25% no. Yeah, I
Heck.
think a lot of people want to PvP in the beginning, the launch. They
Yeah.
want to have battlegrounds to do. because there are a lot of PvP fans, you know. But
Yeah, so this is a poorly engineered question because I think it should be two different questions. Warsong Gulch should be its own question. Alterac Valley should be another question.
right, and then also the gear implementation, or is it just going to be open so people can do it and have fun, or is there going to be gear, like so? I
Yeah,
think it should be more of a well-rounded question. And
I agree. All right, should Blackwing Lair be accessible at the start of the server? This is kind of crazy because this is the
yeah,
next raid tier. So yes, most people are going to have to go through Molten Core before they go through Blackwing Lair. However, if all these other changes come in, it may be possible to totally bypass Molten Core. That's the issue. And if why are we going to want vanilla if one of our raids aren't there or not relevant? Um, of course, I'm going to say no to that. But what do you got numbers wise?
so the numbers are pretty big. 86.4 no to
Okay.
13.6
Okay.
yes, and I don't know who those 13.6 are, but
Yeah. The next question is Dark Moon Fair. I have no idea if there's gear available from the Dark Moon Fair that has an effect on raid progression.
isn't there the what's the name, the Dark Moon Fair cards and stuff like that?
Oh, the
The
trinket
trinkets,
slots.
yeah,
Good
which
point.
are actually pretty good.
Yeah, good point. I didn't think about
But
that.
yeah,
I'm of course going to say no, but what do we got answer wise?
so 59.2 yes to 40.8 no.
Okay, it's close. Yeah. Okay, and this is a huge one. Should Zul'Gurub be accessible at the start of the server? This is the catch-up raid, guys. Why would you launch this at start? So I'm going to, of course, say no to this. This would be like releasing Karazhan at the start of TBC, basically.
Yeah.
What do you got
Well,
numbers?
um, so it's pretty much favored no. 84.3 no
Okay,
to 15.7 yes.
okay, that's good. Do you have anything to say on that, Matt?
Yeah, basically, guys. I mean, if you look at the private servers and like a lot of them at launch had certain raids available, but I think for things like ZG and the gear in there, like if you look at a lot of the gear isn't as good as like say Blackwing Lair gear, but that's because it's meant to be a catch-up mechanic. It's meant to be something who people came in late, they can go into ZG and then do Blackwing Lair things, stuff like that. So
Right, right.
it's definitely not something that I think that should be implemented in the in the launch.
Yeah. The next one's another PvP question. Should AB, Rati Basin, be accessible at the start of the server? I don't know if there's any. As far as I remember, I don't know if there's any gear rewards. Because there is a faction associated with AB, correct?
Yeah, the Defilers, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
the Horde, it's the Flowers. I have no idea what it
yeah.
is for Alliance, but um,
The Stormpike, I think, was the Alliance one for. Oh, that's for AV. I
that's
think.
AV. You got it. That's Stormpike. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no to this, obviously, because you know my stance on this. What's the numbers? I'm curious on this one. I'm sure
So
PvP is.
again, another PvP, 69.7
Yeah,
yes to 30.3
yeah.
no.
People really want to PvP at the launch, and I
Yeah. And but
totally.
I don't think there's a question here. I don't know if there is about PvP gear, so I don't know if that's included in the question, but
Yeah,
it's not really specific, so that's something that we would have to get
yeah.
information on.
I think that like I said this in our first discussion. I don't have an issue with arenas being launched with launch. My issue is that how it affects itemization progression. That's my problem. So if you're able to launch the gear 10 months in and just have the battlegrounds,
Just for fun,
I
yeah,
think that's
maybe for ranking and stuff like that, but
yeah,
that's another question, because people are going to be, I don't know. Every little thing has a bigger change than we think. It's hard to say, oh, it's not going to have an effect because you really don't know. Just because of okay, so if they can get their ranks up, then people are going to start playing. They're going to try to get the best gear available. It's going to have more effects than I think people
yeah,
initially think.
yeah. The next one's for the Stranglethorn fishing extravaganza. I'm going to say no to this because I think there's rings, if I remember correctly, that you can get from this, or other pieces
Is
of
there?
gear. I thought there was.
But
Maybe I'm mistaking myself with retail back in the day because there was a ring you can get from that. I know there was. Um, I don't know what
65.2 said yes, 34.8 said no on that.
Okay, okay. Again, I have no problem with fishing extravaganza at launch if it doesn't screw up progression itemization and progression. Again, fish your brains out, you know. But if you get a piece of gear that could break itemization progression, that could have all different effects on things you're not even going to think about. Um,
Yeah,
what's the numbers? I say you said it's majority yes on that one, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Majority yes, yeah.
This is a big one. Should the Dragons of Nightmare be accessible? If you don't know what these are the dragons that guard the portals to the Emerald Dream. There's one in Darkshire, there's one in Hinterlands, there's one in Feralis, I believe. These guys are
Uh,
big, badass dragons.
yeah. I
They,
actually didn't know they were implemented that late. I thought they were implemented earlier. Just
yeah,
personally, because
almost a year.
yeah,
So,
yeah, I
guys,
didn't know it was that late.
these guys drop nature resist gear needed for AQ40 and AQ20. Um, so
It's exactly why it comes out before AQ40. Why
exactly,
that's why it
this is a
should.
natural progression for AQ20 and AQ40. So, of course, I'm going to say no to this. What do you got on your end, Matt?
So yeah, overwhelming 84.8% no to
Okay.
15.2 yes. So it's overwhelming,
Yeah. And the next
and
question, of course, is AQ40 and AQ20. I'm going to say no to
yeah,
this because this is the next
even
raid
more
tier.
overwhelming.
Yeah,
Yeah, 90.8 to 9.2.
right, right.
90.8 no.
Plus, everyone wants to do the opening ceremony, right? I mean, Mark, what are we gonna? How you gonna? We got to get ready for that, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, what do you got on that? Oh, see, 90% no, right? Yeah.
98 90.8 no.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Should the war effort be a single one-time event per server, or should it be cyclical? So the war effort, guys, is the opening of the gates of Anchorage. Literally, every player has a chance to put some items, gold, whatever, towards the war effort to open the gates of Anchorage. At launch, this was a one-time thing. One person got the Scarab Lord title, and it happened once per server.
And it made it that much more special and that much more memorable, and why mess with that?
Yeah, I I think this should be a one-time event. It should not be once per year. The only time I think it's okay if it's once per year if you have a new server pop up that starts at progression 0.
Absolutely, yeah.
Then it's
That's
fine.
the only way, yeah.
Yeah.
But per
What?
server it should only be once.
Yeah. What do you got on that?
So you ready? Okay, so
What's the highest big of the pie?
48.4 says a
Yeah.
one-time event.
Okay.
So majority says one time.
Okay.
28.6 says cyclical once per year.
Okay.
11.3 says cyclical once every 6 months, and then 11.7
Okay.
cyclical once every
Well,
three
looks like we
months.
have most people that yeah.
Yeah.
So this one's hysterical. Should an extremist be accessible at the start of the server? Okay. Well, doesn't make any sense. No one's gonna be able to do Nax for a very long time. Um, so of course this is tier 3. This is the last raid and that classic had. A very small population actually did it, but that'll of
Very
course be
small.
different now because we'll have all the time in the world to do it basically. So another thing is why rush it?
Exactly.
Outside of the whole part that it's going to screw up every itemization progression plan that ever was, why rush this?
And that's why I think this is probably the biggest majority. I've seen 92.1% saying no on this, and I think that's the biggest percentage that we have on
Yeah,
this. I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't looked forward, but I think that's one of the biggest we had. Definitely the biggest we've had so far.
yeah,
So
yeah. I agree.
at least everyone's on the same page with this. Basically
Okay,
everyone.
yeah, I agree. Okay, this one, Matt, I think you can answer better than I could. Should cross-realm battlegrounds be
Mhm.
implemented? It actually was implemented in the last patch.
So guys, so
Yeah,
yeah, back in the day, you fought people on your server, and I think it was a lot cooler that way because you saw a name and you said, okay, this person is good, this person, and then battle groups came out, that whole thing, it was cross server, and then it became, of course, there were like quicker queues, things like that, but I think it's important for the actual like feel vanilla because for most of the game we had the single realm,
yeah,
and I think if vanilla goes the way that I think it's going to go, we're probably going to have pretty big servers. So I think it'll be okay to actually have
yeah,
battlegrounds on one server and without it being an issue on queue times and things like that. I hope that's how it's going to be, and
yeah,
hopefully, that will be okay. Um, you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
But the only thing I could see happening is if somehow, they don't follow the suit of the, which they really don't have to, of the private server, large servers like one server. If they have like three or four, and then bind them together for battlegrounds, I could
Yeah.
see them doing that even
Yeah.
from when battlegrounds are first
Yeah.
implemented, whenever
Yeah.
that is. So
Yeah.
but on this one we have actually 55.9 no to 44.1 yes. So
Yeah.
majority no, but not by much.
Yeah. I'm gonna say no, but a conditional no if the server sizes are healthy enough. Um,
Yeah.
this could again. This is something that could change midstream, so it's not a big deal if we say no now. It could be changed later. So I'm gonna say no to it because I think originally it should be within one realm, but again, it could change. So
This next question I think is the one that I have the most issue with.
yeah,
Maybe
should the
not
arena?
the most, but
I'm gonna say no because I'm a purist.
well, read the question
But
first.
should the arena system be added at some point in the life of classic servers? So guys, there were no arena in Vanilla WoW that came out in BC. I do not want them because it wasn't part of the vanilla experience, but I understand Matt's point. So go ahead, Matt.
So, well, I'm actually with you on this.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, I think Arena is great. I love to do like my BC life was Arena. I played priest, mage, rogue. I was a rogue and a priest, and I had so much fun. Now, yeah, it would be cool to see something like totally because it would be totally new to have level 60 Arena. It would be something totally new, But I think as far as like that's one thing that made the Burning Crusade really special to me is that that's when arenas were launched, and that's when it was something to look forward to in the Burning Crusade. And it made battlegrounds in vanilla that much more important because that was all you could do, and it made world PvP that much more important in vanilla because that was what you did. You didn't have arena. You might have duels and stuff like that, but arena wasn't part of the game yet. So to add something that wasn't part of the game, I think you're gonna run into a lot of problems because there's gonna be balancing issues. Of course, people are gonna complain about certain comps being because there's gonna be like way less comps. Probably, this is what I'm seeing. This is my opinion. There's probably gonna be way less comps that are going to be really good in vanilla than there were in BC. So there are going to be people playing like 3 or 4 comps, and that's it. And people are going to complain that their comp isn't viable.
yeah,
It's going to have
yeah,
more issues, pressure, more kind of a class balancing thing. I see a lot of issues coming out of this if this goes through. I mean, there is a way to just say like, too bad, that's the way it is, blah 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 blah. But I think
yeah,
if Arena is implemented, a lot of people are going to try it out. A lot of people are going to get pissed if they don't like the way it turns out because of the balancing and how it was
yeah,
in vanilla.
yeah,
The reason why I think it came out in BC is because there were so many changes, and then it was okay. It was okay in BC. There were so many changes done to so many classes,
yeah. Plus, I
and
think they figured out how to do it too. I mean,
exactly. But
that was a hard thing to do, making arena.
it was. But it also, like I said, it takes away something from the Burning Crusade. It takes
Yeah.
away something from vanilla.
Correct.
When World PvP was such a big thing in vanilla.
Yeah.
Like, more so than any other expansion. I personally think
Yeah.
so.
So the next question
I
goes
think
into the same thing, actually.
we didn't answer the...
Oh, yeah, what's the numbers on it? Sorry.
So 60.2 actually said yes.
Yeah, I can see
to this.
why, though.
I
I'm
can
not saying
see-
I agree with him. I just understand why PvPers want arena.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
All right, so yeah, we got to. Sorry, guys, we're trying to run through this as fast as we can. Do you want to keep dishonorable kills? So this goes right into the World PvP thing. World PvP was so big that what happened is that people would get bored and kill quest NPCs. So guys, whenever you kill after patch 1.5, when you kill a quest NPC, you would actually get a detriment to your PvP rank. It would affect these low levels trying to level. They couldn't turn in their quests.
Yeah.
So I think this is very, very good to keep in, personally, because it detracts from mindless and needless killing of NPCs that
Yeah.
are affecting other people's game, basically.
And you know what it comes down to? It was a part of vanilla, and it should be implemented because we want vanilla to be vanilla.
Correct. Should Blizzard provided it? What's the numbers on that?
So 82.4 says keep them.
Okay, good. Should
to
Blizzard provide
17.6.
additional incentives for should Blizzard provide additional incentives for World PvP beyond what was in vanilla? So I think the only incentives you got in World PvP was honor, right?
I mean, yeah, and it would you would still get like rank.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So it was basically like you just wouldn't get rep. Um,
right,
Yeah,
right.
it was a little bit different, yeah, but it was you could still
Yep.
like kill somebody who was a rank and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
But I mean, for the most part, there wasn't that many incentives.
yeah,
For I
uh,
mean, it was fun. People did it because it was fun. And, it was.
yeah.
But
I'm gonna say no to that.
this one's really split.
Okay,
49.9 no to 50.1
okay. So
yes.
it's really
I think this
close.
is the most split one that we have,
Yeah.
honestly.
All right. Should Uber's Upper Blackrock Spire be a 10-man or 15-man dungeon? Originally it was 15-man, and it was changed to 10-man in patch 1.10. I think I did it once, and it was 10-man. So all I remember was 10-man. I don't even remember 15-man. I don't know.
It started out as a 50-man.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I think I'm gonna go 10-man because I think that's what everyone is used to.
I'm actually okay with it starting out a 15-man and going to 10-man.
Okay.
Doing it the way they did it in.
What's the numbers on that?
So, 73.1 say 10-man.
Yeah, because the issue was, man, is that it was a correction thing. You know what I mean?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
That would kind of be like saying, as much as saying, like, okay, the 1.21 patch being implemented at start.
Yeah.
Which actually, I'm okay. I wanted to say this too. Like, I'm okay, even though my class wouldn't be. I mean, it would be kind of viable if I played Holy Paladin. I mean, all I would be able to do is pretty much cast blessings, but it wouldn't be the kind of class that I want to play, which
Yeah.
it was towards the end of which
Right.
like towards 1.9. But I'm okay with it coming out the way it was implemented, just to get that if that's what they have to do. But
Yeah.
I'm okay with it either way there.
Right.
So
Okay, same vein. Should Stratholme and Skullromance be 5-man or 10-man? It was changed to 5, so both of them were changed to 5 in the same patch.
yeah,
So they were
yeah.
originally 10-man. I'm going to go 5-man on this because, again, that's what I remember. And again, this was an issue with, I think, I'm not sure if it was a balancing issue or if it was, I'm not sure what it was.
I've only ever done them both as 5-man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's like I honestly that's my vanilla experience. Somebody else's vanilla experience might be as a 10-man, and
Yeah.
they might have stopped playing towards the end. So you know what? That's going to be. But we have actually 5-man at 63.1 and 10-man at 36
Okay.
at 36.9.
Okay. All right, the next question is, okay, so let me just say this real quick before we get to the next question. I'm totally fine with things that were eventually added into the game, okay? Let me just stop there and say that. If a change was part of the vanilla, it's some patch, I'm okay with that, pretty much. Not the raids, but like things like Ubers and things like dishonorable kills, stuff like that. This is where things get crazy, to me. Would you like to see Classic expansions implemented at some point in the life of Classic? I want to say, of course not, because of two reasons. One, you're basically creating an alternate timeline, like a J.J. Abrams Star Trek, basically now, right? You're creating an alternate timeline in the lore.
Or Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah, yes, and as a lore person, that's a smack in the face to me. Two, you're going to hurt the ability of other expansions coming out, like a TBC server, if you do stuff like this, in my opinion.
Which I can't wait for it personally.
Yeah. What are the numbers on this?
So I just want to say
Yeah.
I'm totally with you on this, Phil.
Yeah.
I think this honestly, like it sounds cool as an idea, but I think it will hurt more than a lot of things. The vanilla experience was that vanilla ended, and then
Yeah.
BC came out.
Right.
Like that's what happened. And in order to recreate that, we have to do it the way it happened.
Yeah.
Like, of course, it would be cool to, continue maybe another like troll dungeon or something like that, or a raid. But honestly, I think this is going to cause so much problems,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be way more bad than good. I really honestly see that, and everything in my gut is telling me no.
Yeah.
And I'm really surprised that 71.5 said yes to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Me too.
28, only 28.5 said no.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that it's a cool idea, but just sit and think about it for a sec. Chew on it for a sec and think about it.
Yeah.
And then maybe look back at it.
Yeah.
That's because at first I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know, and then that goes to the next question. You wanna read
Right.
that?
So should classic expansions increase the level cap? Of course, I'm going to say no to this
Yeah.
because vanilla was 60, TBC was 70. That's just the way it was. Again, you're going to screw up the progression of the other private servers that will come out if this is a success.
Yeah.
And what do you got on this one?
So 73.2 said remain at 60.
Okay, that's good.
Which is kind of weird because like they
Yeah.
want like the overwhelming wanted more content, but then
Yeah.
overwhelming also
Yeah,
wanted.
there are a very large amount of people that said no to or said yes to expansions, but remain
Right.
at 60, which is weird. But
I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
should classic expansions use other continents, or should all? So this is a weird question because you have to answer it, even though you answered no to. So should classic expansions use other continents, or should all new zones be part? Well, I hope this doesn't happen, but if it does happen, let's use the existing
Just
continents only, because now you're
Like, what
now.
are you going to implement Hygel? Well, Hygel was a raid in BC.
Yeah.
You know, like
And-
why would you like?
Well, Hygel is part of the
Hygel
existing
too.
continent, though. But
Right, but it's not. It's part of the existing continent, but it's not an explorable zone.
yeah, no, I understand. But if they go off continent, you're going to go to the Broken Isles. The Legion is already there. Now you're
Or
screwing.
like somewhere else, we're gonna
Yeah.
go like to the Maelstrom.
You're treading on you're making an Abrams Trek thing here. Is what you're
This
doing.
is where if you just see where these questions went, guys, I think you can see why me and Melderon are so against. Look how weird these questions just got. Look
Yeah.
how where we're going so far off base here.
Yeah.
This is why it's going to be a bad idea. And then you're going to have class balance changes. People are, there's going to be
Yeah.
mistakes in that. There's going to be so much added to an already very fragile system.
Yeah, and you're going to see, I'm going to put Ian Hostakakis on at the end of this video, real quick, a small segment he did in an interview, where he basically says, vanilla is going to be vanilla, now we just have to figure out what brand of, well, as Alex Sensual said, what brand of vanilla. Because he basically said, we know the vanilla experience is this, and we're going to provide that. So I think these questions are hopefully not going to be an issue, according to Mr. Hazakastis, but you never know. So please take this into consideration when you're doing this. And I'll put that right at the end of our survey. I'll show you exactly what he said.
Which was actually really assuring for me.
Yeah. But I think his issue was more about like patch progression itemization.
Yeah.
That's what he was talking about.
Exactly. Which is the kind of concerns that
Yeah.
we should be talking about. Okay, let's go to the next question.
Okay, would you like to see all inaccessible zones on Azeroth and Eastern Kingdoms? No. Become accessible in the future? No, because that's the point we just were making. Of course not.
Would you believe that 65.9%?
Oh, I believe it, because I'm telling you, people are answering these questions who have never played Vanilla WoW and have never played on a private server. I'm telling you, because it's on the regular WoW. Let me just double check this. It's on the no. This is the World of Warcraft Classic Reddit. So
yeah, this isn't.
so this isn't. I thought it was on the original, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out, reach out on a limb here and say that a lot of people that are answering this never played vanilla or had never played on a private server. I could be
I don't
totally
even-
wrong
you know
about
what,
that.
I
That should have
don't-
been a question
I-
on here too. Why wouldn't they put
Yeah.
that on the survey?
I really don't understand this. I mean, would
Yeah.
you like to see? It's
Yeah.
almost like saying, would you like why don't we just look at it as the point of would you just like to see expansions come out after vanilla? Like, would you like to see TBC come out? Would you like to see Wrath come out?
Right. These
after?
questions
That's
aren't there. Yes.
Those are the questions we should have.
Oh, well,
Why is it
actually,
would you like to see-
actually it's down here. There is a question like
Yeah,
that. Down
yeah,
here.
but like what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, why is inaccessible zones like to me Outland or like Hydra, like I said, stuff like that? Like, I guess that's what they're talking about, right? Inaccessible zones would be like Hydra,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Dude,
or,
Hydra
or,
was a
or,
raid.
or that area that's like north of like Stratholme that you can't
Right.
go, or whatever that
But
is.
like-
Yeah.
But like Hydra was a raid in the Burning Crusade. Why would you want to?
Yeah. No, you're just going to screw up the progression of the other Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it was like back in it was
yeah,
different, but I don't
yeah.
know.
But I would have included on this survey if I was making a survey. Have you ever played Vanilla WoW? Have you played it on
Yeah.
a private server? Why would you not put that in the survey?
Yes. Well,
Anyway,
because you know
yeah,
how many people are gonna lie to that.
yeah, that's true. Would
But
you
like,
look?
yeah, right. I
Yeah,
understand the Hydro raid was like back in time, and it was but
yeah,
it's still like I don't know.
yeah.
I think this is a bad idea.
Well, it
I
was
think this
before the
is
events of Vanilla.
oh
The,
way before.
yeah, it was so you're still going back in time if you put it in the classic too.
Well, no, if you put it in classic, like you would be actually like exploring Hydro as it was in classic
No,
before the
as it was in
Cataclysm.
classic. Yeah. Well,
Right, right,
yes,
right.
yes, sure. Okay. Would you like to see new raids and dungeons added that were hinted at during the vanilla but never implemented, such as Grimbatol, Uldum, Hyjal? Guys, Grimbatol, Uldum, and Hyjal came out in other expansions. Again, this is creating an alternate timeline, and I don't like alternate timelines in my stuff.
Guys, remember what happened in alter? Remember what happened when Blizz tried to do an alternate timeline? We
Yeah.
got Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is what we're gonna get if they do that with this. We're gonna get excuse me. We're gonna get Warlords of Draenor point two, like
Yeah.
2.0.
Yeah. 2.0.
That's what
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
a bad idea.
Yeah.
Just, I mean,
Yeah.
like 70.7% said yes to this. I
I know.
do not
I
understand.
know. I don't get it either. This is why I implore everyone to take this survey and to kindly and professionally go on the Classic WoW forum and talk about this stuff and make your voices be heard.
Yeah, I mean, I got a little like tilted there, but it's just
Yeah.
because I'm really passionate about it.
No,
And
not you. I was pointing towards.
no. I'm just saying me. Like,
Yeah.
I personally like feel really passionate about this because it's like just look at the evidence of when something like this was done before, and look what we got. We got
Yep.
Warlords of
Yep.
Draenor, the worst expansion.
Yep.
I mean, in my
And
opinion.
yeah, Grimbatol, Uldum, and Hyjal came out in Kata. Play Kata
They
if you
came
want.
out and they were, and I'm sorry, like Oldham, like Grimbatol, like I liked them as they were. I mean, Hyjal wasn't the best raid in the world, but it was still like
Yeah.
it was part of the Burning Crusade, and
Yep.
don't take that away from my experience of the Burning Crusade.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Should new raid and dungeon items drops remain at or below Naxxramas item levels or go beyond Nax? So this question, okay, first of all, they spelled Naxxramas wrong. Second of all,
Next Rams.
so this is contingent upon you being okay with other things being implemented. So let's pretend you're okay
Yeah.
with that. Do you want the item levels to remain at Nax level?
So 56.6 said remain at or below next
Okay.
level. So these are like what if questions. These are only
Yeah,
if
yeah.
certain things are implemented, which
Correct.
are, if you kind of go by our standpoint, this is kind of
Yeah.
nullified. But
Yeah.
56.6 said remain at or below next level stats, which I don't understand because why would I mean, again, this is getting confusing now. 43.4 said go beyond the next level stats. So
Yeah, and now the questions go back into reality.
yeah.
If Blizzard offers a TBC server, would you like the ability to copy your vanilla character to it? Of course.
92 points.
Yeah.
92% said yes, guys.
Yeah, of course. Because that's basically what happened when the game came out, right?
Yeah.
Because your character continued his journey through, and you want to do that.
And I
And
like
it-
how they say copied because
Yes,
that implies
that's a huge
that you'll
thing.
still have your vanilla character.
Yeah, because again, these are classic servers, and your character's going to be there basically.
It's
Yeah.
implying that when you copy it over to the TBC realm, the vanilla version is still going to be
Yep,
there. So
still going to be
that's
there,
really
level
important.
60 with his tier
Exactly.
2.
That's really important for the people who want to continue playing vanilla.
Yeah, correct.
And if they want to continue playing vanilla on that server, it's going to probably be like, in my opinion, should be at the like end of the server where and nothing else added. If you want to start over again, that's when they should implement starting like a new level 60, a new vanilla server at the beginning of vanilla again, and
Yeah.
where you could do the whole thing over.
Yeah.
That's in my eyes. That's how
Yeah.
logically I think it should work.
Yeah.
I would personally probably progress onto TBC and even still play my character on that original vanilla realm, just
Correct.
as
I agree.
in end game content. I mean,
Yep.
I would love to go back and do everything, and then maybe make another character on a new vanilla server and start over again. Like
Yeah.
that's what I like to do
Yep.
because
Oh.
that was vanilla.
Yeah,
Let's
correct.
go on. Yeah.
All right, classes were balanced throughout vanilla. Should class talents be in the earlier state or later state throughout classic? This is the question. This is the 1.12.1 question, guys. This is the Nost question. Do you want Nost abilities and Elysium and Light's Hope, Chronos, or do you want it to go through how it was when it first came out? Classes were horribly imbalanced when the game were first launched.
Not only that, but the talent trees were changed a lot.
Yes.
A lot of abilities that were like on low tiers, on the low parts of the tier, became at the end.
Yeah.
Abilities that were on the end went to the beginning, and like a lot of specs went through complete 180, changes.
Yeah.
So it would be like learning your class and then learning it all over again thing,
Yeah.
or playing the version that you're familiar with, sticking to that and going with that. And it actually, as you can see, if you played on the private servers, it worked.
Yeah.
I think
It
it
did.
worked pretty well.
It did. Yeah.
Especially playing like a holy paladin or like at with the 1.12 balance, and then playing like molten core. Like I think that worked. I think that was great. I think it was amazing. I think that
Yeah.
shows how everything could have been.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
it's still a true vanilla experience because it's something that was implemented in vanilla.
Yeah. I'm gonna
But
go with
I'm okay with either way here.
yeah. Yeah. So am I. I'm gonna pick later state, and I'll tell you why in a second. There's a
I am
huge
also.
yeah.
So 75.8 said later state.
There's a huge difference. Again, I said this at the beginning of the video between content, itemization, and raid progression and abilities. You have to realize the itemization, raid progression stuff is a natural thing because new things are being added to the game. You're expanding the story. You're adding new content. Abilities changes are balancing issues. You have so there are two very very different ideas. One is adding more content to the game. One is addressing balancing issues. So one is fixing things. One is adding things. So
Exactly.
it's okay to me if you put all the fixes, boom, and let them on the table. We fixed everything. This is the most balanced patch we've ever did as far as abilities are concerned. But roll out
Basically saying like, okay, the work that we did in vanilla to try to get this out, like we're gonna use the best version of that, the best and most like clean and corrected version of that. We're gonna implement that version,
yes,
not the one with all the issues.
yes, correct,
That's basically where they're going with that.
yeah. All right, we're gonna
75.8 said the later state to
yeah.
24.2.
All right, we're gonna try to burn through these other ones pretty quick. Would you like to see Blizzard periodically balance classes in the future? Absolutely not, because again, this never happened in the game. There were no balances after 1.12. So no, I'm going to say absolutely no to this. I know that probably people are going to say yes to this.
58% said yes.
Yeah.
42 said no.
Again, I'm not for anything that wasn't in the original game. That's exactly how I feel about this stuff.
And this next question is kind of.
Would you like to see additional classes viable for tanking in 40-man raids? No. I'm going to say no to this.
I understand the question. I understand, like, okay, why couldn't we have a prop paladin, or you know what I mean? Like, prop paladins were great in dungeons, but for 40 mans, but guess what? That was part of the vanilla experience. But 54.7 said yes to this. And I really I have to disagree with that.
So anybody watching this right now, my computer just bugged out and made me hit yes, and I can't change it.
I think Melderon secretly wants to play a paladin tank.
Well, I hope that this is. I hope I don't have to reload this page. Anyway, if I do, it's no big deal. If we have another issue, we'll see. Should battle masters exist to queue in BGs, or should players have to run to the BG entrance? No, you have to go to the entrance. That was vanilla, guys. You have to go to the portal. Huh?
No. The battle masters came in at 1.6.
Oh, that's right. Because you can go to a major city and do it, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And that's the version I'm familiar with, so I'm actually okay with that. But
I'm gonna
okay
say
with it either way.
yeah. I'm gonna say no because I'm having an issue here. I have to reload. Give me 1 second, guys.
But anyway, so there's like basically yes, battle masters has 54% to 45.6% saying no.
Yeah.
And I kind of understand this because there were less BGs available earlier in the game, so maybe being able only to run to two. That's kind of, I guess, where the question lies with me if there's only so many. When
Yeah.
all the BGs are out, all four of them, four right back then,
Yes.
or
Yes.
yeah, what was it?
AB, AV,
Warsong
Warsong 3.
3.
Yeah.
I mean, all three of them were implemented. Then it would probably be more
Yeah.
efficient to have the battle master.
Correct.
I don't know with this one. I
I
was like
think
I
the
said,
community aspect is why I want to say no.
yeah, true. I mean, I'm okay with either way,
Yeah.
honestly. I think, but
Yeah. Again, it wouldn't make me like lose my mind. No.
no,
Would you like to see dual specialization offered? No, I do
no,
not.
no, no, no,
That
no.
was not vanilla, guys. Dual spec wasn't until when? Wrath or Kata?
Uh,
One of the two.
I think it was either Wrath or Kata.
Yeah, you had to spend money to respec, guys. Sorry, it's about the RP experience. It's about the you are your character. You know.
Like I'm a holy paladin. Like I spent all this time and effort getting into it. Like if I wanted to change that, I should have to put some effort into it and not just be
Yeah.
able to click a button and
Yep.
say, "Oh, I'm a red paladin now."
What's the numbers on that?
So 66.7 said no.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Would you like to see guild banks offered in vanilla? Again, no, because they weren't in vanilla. Again, this is very simple for me. If it wasn't in the game, don't put it in
62.4
there.
said yes to
I'm
that.
sure they did, and I understand it's a quality of life change. It doesn't
Yeah.
make. Yeah, I understand your point. I do, but
But like
my
where with one thing like that, guys, comes like I just feel like okay, if they're going to change like one thing like that, they're going to be quality of life changes. So
yeah,
I think if you say no to one or no to like something like you're gonna have to say to no to a, like in my eyes I feel like if I say no to like this and no to LFG like it's no to every quality of life change that would be different than what vanilla was. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because yeah, let's just move on because I think we got that our we got that ingrained in people. I think they know
yeah,
what we're coming from now. So
exactly. Okay, would you like to have personal bank sizes expanded to prevent the need for multiple alts? No, again, it was never
nope,
offered in vanilla. What's the
dude,
number
I
on
had
that?
Def
Yeah,
Bank was my
yep,
45.1 says no to
yeah,
54.9 saying yes.
yeah. I want to see the naked alts running around in Orgrimmar.
Yeah, it was part
Yeah,
of the experience,
yeah,
man.
man. Would you prefer a lower maximum respec cost? This was never offered in vanilla. Again, no. I'm not gonna. Say, I'm not. Even though I know it'll make my life easier. Again,
Right.
it's a
That was pretty much split in the
control.
middle.
Yeah,
50.3 said yes to 49.7
yeah.
saying no.
Would you like to see fly mounts offered? Absolutely not.
This one's overwhelming.
Yeah,
90.
I lost you.
No, yeah, 93.8 said no on this one.
Yeah, good. Would you like to see Dungeon Finder? Absolutely not. This was the whole core of why we're going back to Classic, guys. Community. Community,
Yep,
community, community.
88.1 says no.
Okay, Raid Finder. Absolutely not.
93.1 says
Yeah.
no.
Would you like to have meaning stones usable for teleportation? It's so funny because they don't work in vanilla.
Nope.
No, because you had to run to the dungeon unless you had a warlock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's what,
Yeah, and I
Warlocks are
forget. I
great
forget
back
what
then.
level warlocks even get that ability. 40 probably.
58.6 says no.
Yeah.
So majority saying no.
Yeah.
41.4 says yes.
Should auction
Yeah,
houses? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Should auction houses exist in every capital city added in patch 1.9 or just Orgrimmar and Ironforge? I say every capital city because it was added in the actual game. It was added in 1.9 as a content, a piece of content, a quality of life change. I'm okay with it being at launch, personally. That's my personal opinion. It
I
does,
actually, I'm okay with it being just Orgrimmar and Ironforge
okay.
at start, and if they implement that down the line, that I think that would be cool. But for the most part, I spend most of my time either in
Yeah.
Orgrimmar. But actually, like 62.2 said just Orgrimmar and Ironforge.
That's good. I have
Yeah.
no problem with either one. The next question is a very dumb question because if they introduced them in each capital city, they have to be linked because that's how they were introduced. So what I'm trying to say is that in patch 1.9 they added auction houses to other major cities, and because they added them, they had to link them. It has to be linked. Otherwise, how's it going to work? You have an
Well,
auction in Orgrimmar and an auction in Undercity? That's weird.
yeah.
So there's an
I,
Undercity auction and an Orgrimmar auction? It doesn't make any sense.
some private servers like the one I'm at, like I get mail and it'll say like auction from Thunderbluff Auction House,
Yeah,
but they're all linked. But it's just
yeah.
the
It's
whole
just
idea. But this was implemented on 1.9, so when they were put together when they were all implemented. So of course we
Yeah.
should say yes. I would
Right.
say yes to this. 70.4% says yes to
Yeah.
this.
Should additional flight paths be added? Of course. No, I'm sorry. Of course
Of
not. That's
course
what I meant to say.
not.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Exploration was part of vanilla, guys. That's the way it was. Exploration, and you saw so much more stuff because you walked everywhere, and you're like, oh, what's this little building over here? You
I
know?
remember getting to Moonglade for the not Moonglade. I'm sorry, Winter Spring for the first time. Oh my
Yeah.
God! But like it was such a pain to go all the way up through Fellwood and go through Timbermall Hold and do all that. But like getting there for the time, like oh yeah, it would be really awesome if there were more flight paths in Fellwood because of how long it was. But that was part of the exploration to go and have that whole journey to get all the way through Fellwood. I mean, there was that other base towards the top, but I had to get that flight path and I had to go all the way up, go through Timbermall Hold, and then
Yep.
go all the way up to Everlook and like that was a journey, man. That took a long time, but it was an epic journey. Like going through Timbermall Hold, seeing Fellwood, and then getting into Winter Spring for the first time. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yep.
Like it was so.
I
It
agree.
was such an experience for me.
Okay, next one. Should flight paths
I'm
be...
sorry, 65.1 said no to that.
Okay, good. Should flight paths be linked? So, guys, before patch 1.1, you had to fly to a place and then fly to the next place and then fly to the next place. You couldn't just, like, pick fly to your end point.
Nope.
This is... I'm okay with either one. I think they should be linked only because how else are you going to go AFK and put your pizza in the oven, guys? I mean, think about that for a second.
Quality of life
Yeah.
change, that, bro.
But it's a quality of life change that it came out in the game.
True, true.
I'm okay with it if
But,
it came
yeah.
out in a patch. I'm okay with that. But I'm
Yeah.
also okay if they don't. Either way.
I'm kind of on board with you on that one. Like, it would be nice to have that 1.10 version where I can like click from go from to Gadgeton to Orgrimmar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then AFK.
Yeah.
I'm like I personally like I like that,
Yeah.
but I'm okay if it doesn't do that. Like that's part of what happened in Vanilla for a little while. So
Okay.
if that's
Yeah.
what it is, that's what it
Yeah,
is.
I agree. What level should be required to gain your non-epic mount? 40, guys. That's what it was. It's 40. First of
Wow.
all, do you think you're going to have enough gold at level 20 to buy a 100 gold mount? You will
Well, they would
not.
probably lower the price
They
too.
probably would, but they didn't say that. But,
Yeah.
guys, it's just the way it was, man. I mean, when
Yep.
you hit 40 and you buy that mount, you are like the king on
That's
at the
that's
top of the
and that's
castle.
what made being like a shaman or like a druid awesome. Had travel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. Because I remember when they lowered it to 20 in retail, I was playing a shaman. I'm like, man, my ghost wolf form doesn't mean crap anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
so
And like doing all those quests to be like those totem quests. Oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah, they're
But
hard.
having that travel form made it worthwhile.
Yeah.
You know.
Should loot be pick upable automatically without having to click the item in the loot window? So this is, guys. So this isn't a very accurate thing because you can auto loot. You have to hit the shift button though. So of course I'm going to say click the item, but you don't have to click the item. You can shift. You can shift loot.
If you guys, yeah, see, I have problems with this all the time. I still do, but it's because I'm so used to auto loot now. But I'm okay with being able to hit shift click. Like it's not that
Yeah.
hard. It
Yeah.
really isn't.
Yeah.
It's simple and it's part of the vanilla experience. Leave it in there.
Yeah.
But only 38.6 said click the item and loot.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that. Trust me.
Yeah.
I can see people wanting auto loot. I'm not saying.
Yep.
I'm not saying I don't understand your point. All I'm saying
I'm
is.
sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. The last one with 87.4 said keep it at level 40.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, guys, it's not that big of a deal. You're not looting as fast as you are in other expansions. You're looting
Yep.
like 2 corpses at a time. Just shift click. That's the way it was. Should raids have dungeon timers? I'm going to say yes to this because it was part of the game at patch 1.9, but the major issue here is it limits the amount of farming you can do. And it screws up the economy if people are farming too much. Basically what this means is you can only run, I think, 10 instances per hour, something like that.
Yeah.
So they implemented that because people were just constantly farming dungeons and it's screwing up the economy. And it's a very important thing, I think, is that there's
I'm
dungeon
okay with that too.
Yeah.
So 63.4 said yes.
Okay. Should Molten Core be accessible only through Blackrock Depths or accessible via teleportation window? Okay, so guys, back in the day, the only way to get the Molten Core was through the Blackrock Depths dungeon. So your raid team would have to go into Blackrock Depths, kill a whole
Well, the
bunch of people.
teleport was added pretty in
It was added
1.3.
very
Yeah,
early. So I don't
right.
care about this one.
Well, having that teleport was. I remember having that
Yeah,
teleport. It was
I think
awesome.
through the window 2 is my answer to
Yeah.
this. Yeah. What's the
I never
what's
played it before. I never played it before that. Through the window was
Yeah,
63.3%.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Should vanilla style wall walking be permitted to explore content otherwise inaccessible? I don't have a problem with this because it doesn't offer anything. What I mean is you don't get gear for this, right? You can't.
Well, wall walking.
Yeah.
Wall walking like was like getting to the top of like Stormwind. Like I love doing that
No, no,
stuff.
no. What I mean is I'm okay with it being in the game because
Oh,
you
you're right.
can't
Yeah,
like.
Blizzard considered it a bug, though, right?
No. My point is, Matt, is that it won't screw up anybody else's gameplay.
Um, I don't know actually.
It
I mean,
doesn't. There's no way you can
yeah.
affect another player,
Well,
as
like
far as I know.
I'm just thinking like wall walking in a raid. Like, was there a way to wall
No,
walk skip
no,
bosses?
no. I don't.
Or
I don't.
skip trash mobs? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think
Not
it's
that I
more
know
like
of.
just like exploring kind of thing.
Like in Stormwind, like
Yeah.
there was that one. There's boxes in Stormwind that you can get up
Yeah.
into and go up on the roof.
Right.
Like I used to do it all the time, and I used to go under Stormwind all the time too. It was
Now the
fun.
next question is big because you can negatively affect someone else's experience. That's why I'm going to say no to this one.
And 84.3 of the population agreed with you.
Yeah, basically what I'm saying here, guys, is you can cheat in a PvP battleground, and that's not cool.
Take
I mean,
the flag up
yeah.
somewhere and like you
Yeah.
know hide it. Yeah, that's
I mean, exploring the underside of Stormwind, you're not screwing with anyone's gameplay. You're not getting a piece of gear. You're not farming honor. You're not you're just stuck in a wall. I don't care about that. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't affect my gameplay at all. But if you're cheating and you're hitting me from some part of the wall that I can't touch you, then yeah, that's an issue. As far as I'm concerned. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yep. Completely.
All right. Should donations of different types of cloth be permitted to increase reputation with a given faction? Yeah. I mean, this was a catch-up mechanic for people to gain
1.5,
rep. It was in 1.5.
Absolutely.
These NPCs are all over the major cities. You give them some wool and they give you some rep. That's how it
I've
was.
always seen them around, so I never played before, so I'm okay
Yeah.
with it. But
Should
someone else's
weather-
experience might be different. It's fine.
I didn't realize weather effects were implemented so late.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it makes the game more realistic.
Yeah.
It makes it
does,
more
definitely
live.
does.
So yes.
94% said yes.
Yeah. What level rate would you prefer? Really? Guys, we won Vanilla WoW. Why do you think we won Vanilla
What
WoW?
next was standard vanilla? Really?
Yeah. The whole NOS movement is based upon this question. This question and the LFR LFG questions. This is why we wanted Vanilla back. We wanted the long grind. We wanted the community aspect. Simple answer. What was the number?
So 89% said yes to that.
Okay. Would you like an option to pay an additional $15 a month to double your leveling rate? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh my god. Well, thank God 95.7 said
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. That just makes people who are rich. It just makes the rich richer and poor poorer. It's like capitalism, basically. Yeah, that's exactly no.
Let's get to this next question because I think this
Okay.
is interesting.
Would you like an option to display updated graphics from later expansions? Okay, let me just say no to that real quick.
Me too.
Why? Well, because it wasn't in the game, and it is vanilla is the polygony choppy.
It's part of the experience, guys.
It's part of the
I mean,
experience. Yeah.
if you think it's stupid, I'm sorry, I have to disagree. I think part of the experience was the graphics. It
Yeah.
absolutely was. And like, we all have better computers today, so that enhancement right there should be as far as it goes.
Yeah, my issue is some people are going to bark at me and say, well, if the option's there and you can turn it off, how is it affecting anyone else's gameplay? And you're right. If you have updated graphics on your screen and I don't on my screen, it doesn't change my experience. That's absolutely true. However, I think it defiles the original game and it taints it. Personally, it's like updating the Mona Lisa or something. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's
I get-
it's
no,
a
I
work
know
of
what
art.
you're saying.
The
Yeah.
original WoW is a work of art, and you're basically trying to enhance that work of art in a way that updated with better
wasn't
paint.
how it was intended
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah, it's not what it was intended to be. Would you like to see an option to increase terrain visibility beyond the default found in Vanilla? Vanilla had a value of 777.
I'm sorry. Let me go back to the
Oh,
percentages
yeah.
on that. So, 37.2% said yes with new graphics on by default.
Hmm.
43% said yes, but with old graphics on by default.
Okay.
So like on default, you would have the old ones, and
Yeah.
19.8%
So
just have them
most
right now.
people want the option, basically.
Yeah,
Um.
which is
Well,
actually I actually consider that surprising.
yeah, me
I
too.
thought people.
All right, we got to finish this up in 30 seconds. Would you
All
like
right.
to see an option to increase terrain visibility beyond the default? Vanilla had 777. This was later increased to 4,000 in Wild Lake and later. Um, I, no. Only because it's again, this is the way Vanilla was supposed to be. It's the whole Mona Lisa thing again, basically.
You're changing, a
Yeah.
pretty big aspect of it. And
Yep.
not, it's an aspect of the game. However small, however large,
Yep.
it's still being changed.
Yep.
That's what you have to look
Okay, well,
at.
I'm going to submit this. So I got about a minute to close this. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. All the links are going to be in the description, especially in Dodgy Kebab. It puts out a really good point about the classic WoW we experience, whether we change or not, will not be the same exact experience. Please check out his video. He's got a lot of good things to say about that. Um, Thank you for watching part 4 of the classic WoW. And Matt would like to tell you a little bit about his channel.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't checked out Defcamp TV yet, give it a check. I just put a video up there about my level 70 Holy Priest on Warmane Outland. Just giving a little tutorial on how I heal, and if you're interested in that, I'm also going to be putting out a new video on my talents. We also did a discussion about Classic on the channel as well, and if you want to see more, go over to Defcamp
Yep.
TV and check it out.
Yep, Defcamp TV, guys. He got some interesting videos, and his I don't know why it's coming up, but his healing guide is pretty awesome. So definitely give that a look when you get a chance.
As
Um, so thanks, guys, for everything. And I'll see you on the next episode of Super Plate Brothers, which we are going to record in a few minutes. Have a good one. Take it easy, and
See you guys.
see you later.
Also, kind of like Jay said back at BlizzCon, we understand that, when he says that some of you, your favorite flavor is vanilla, we know vanilla means vanilla. We know that it's about community, and that means some of the inconveniences, that means some of the rough edges. That's not something we're looking to move away from. It's more some of the questions like Jay raised. Which version of that experience? Is it the 2005 version? Is it the 2006 version? There were a lot of changes that happened during the classic timeframe, and there's a lot of fun discussions to have as we figure out what the right experience is. So more to share in the future. Thank you for the passion. Keep the feedback coming. Keep the chat coming.